Yeah, but it's a... Nice fish, nice fish, nice fish.
Yes. I got it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, he's wrapped.
Wrapped only with...
That's Sneaky?
So we've just come up on a crocodile named Sneaky.
A group of friends set out for a peaceful day of fishing along a quiet river surrounded by calm water and an endless sky. For a while, everything was perfectly serene. Lines were cast, laughter echoed across the shore, and the slow current created an ideal backdrop for a relaxing day outdoors. But that peace didn't last. Out of nowhere, a stranger appeared, determined to disrupt their time.
What'd you say? You don't own the river. Yeah, not the river.
Oh, I hate it, eh?
Yeah, we'll stay off the property, that's fine. You don't own the river, we'll just walk in the river.
Where's your car?
Don't get all pissed at us and throw
Where's your vehicle?
on your farm and I might
Where's your vehicle, mate? It's on the place. I'm going to go and take the driver's and I'm going to go and get your bloody...
You know, in New South Wales, you're allowed to walk in the water, though.
You can walk
Yeah,
in the water.
yeah.
There's an electric fence up there.
Okay, we'll be careful. Yeah.
We're just walking through the river.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
We will not go on your property.
Is your vehicle down by the river?
No.
I'm telling you where to go. Well, I'm going to go find it.
We're not going to go on your property.
Yeah.
You've got to get to the river through our place and we don't want people...
We've walked far as, like it's way down. Yeah.
Yeah, we won't go on your property. We've been walking up the river the whole time. That's it. We won't get out of the river.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
mate.
No, I understand that, you know.
Yeah.
No, I know that, but that's what does happen. Isn't it?
Yeah.
People are arseholes, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
and they've been really dickheads to
Yeah.
deal with.
Yeah.
And that's what...
What began as a casual, lighthearted outing suddenly shifted into an unexpected confrontation. The group remained polite, explaining that they were only wading in the water and taking care to avoid private property. Still, their explanations didn't seem to matter. The man demanded to know where their vehicles were parked, accused them of trespassing, and warned them about property boundaries and fences. The calm atmosphere dissolved almost instantly, replaced by tension and frustration. Instead of leaving them alone, the stranger escalated the situation, throwing around accusations, making threats, and doing everything he could to force them off the river.
You know he's filming you. You want one?
Mate, you'd have been a bit different about the whole thing.
I said to you, we just want to get on your property. I respect everything. We know what we're doing and we're not doing anything wrong. Look, we're not doing anything wrong. I'll tell you that right now. That's fine.
But I'm not going to make it easy for you either.
Well, that's fine. We'll just keep going past your
Mate,
property.
that's private property as well, and they're not going to be too happy.
No, we're going to keep walking, though, in the water. We're just going to keep walking.
We're not.
Just
Wait, Will.
We have...
What had started as a peaceful fishing trip now felt like a standoff that dragged on much longer than anyone expected. Before long, rocks and sticks were being thrown into the water, clearly meant to disturb the fish and ruin their experience. It became obvious some people thrive on destroying others' peace because their own lives feel chaotic. Like venomous snakes, they strike without warning, feeding on the disorder they create. To their credit, the friends stood their ground, insisting they had done nothing wrong and refusing to be bullied off public water. Still, the entire situation was absurd. An ordinary day outdoors had turned into chaos over something that never should have been a problem in the first place. Moments like this reveal a familiar truth. Some people simply cannot stand seeing others happy and at peace. Whether it's resentment, anger, or a need for control, they project their unhappiness onto others, trying to dominate spaces that don't belong to them. Encounters like this are a powerful reminder of how quickly serenity can unravel when tempers flare. So here's the question. What would you have done? Would you stay and continue fishing or walk away to avoid more trouble? And deeper still, why do you think some people feel the need to shatter someone else's peace just to feel better about themselves? A fisherman sets out expecting a successful day on the water. His bait is working perfectly. Fish are striking one after another, and he's landing some impressive catches. But just as everything seems ideal, his peaceful morning comes to an abrupt halt.
I made a switch to a candy bug zimmer swimmer just to see if it made a difference. And it did for that fish. Look how fat this dude is. Look how fat that fish is. Just an absolute football, stuffing his face with white shrimp and crabs. There he is. Speckled trout. All right, switch to candy bug. Apparently it's a good one. He's just barely under keeper sized. I'm gonna let him go. Oh, there's a fish. Red, I think. Red, I think, but not a keeper red.
Another boat approaches, and suddenly the calm atmosphere turns into a heated confrontation.
I know y'all can't be back here.
What's that?
Can't be back here. Y'all know that.
Why is that?
No, private property, dude. You passed the signs up coming in.
Yeah, but
It's
a bayou. It's navigable.
Huh?
It's a navigable bayou.
I don't even care what it is. It's private property, dude. I mean, you want me to call wildlife right now?
Yeah, you can call him.
Hey, we got one that's fishing in Bumblebee Bayou, all the way in the back, and refuses to leave. A guy fishing in Bumblebee refuses to leave. All right, I'll get him, and he'll get it in the mail, I guess. All right, man. Not being a dick, bro, but we pay a lot of money for this right here.
This is navigable. This is navigable. This is navigable bayou. It is.
You're going into our pond. That's what
No, I'm not going to your pond. I'm just fishing the bayou.
this wasn't canal. This is a navigable canal.
It's navigable. It is.
Private property in the
It's not. It's not.
I don't know if you're from here or you're from where you're at. It's not.
Yep. It absolutely is.
Private property.
I'm
I
from.
can go do donuts in your yard because I could go there.
It's navigable. Absolutely, it's open to the public. 100%.
I promise you.
Okay, well, that's fine. Bill, you got my boat number. Send them in. Send them in. Okay, it's not a problem. I'm not messing with you. I see that. I mean, I'm not on the land. I'm staying off the land.
It don't matter.
It does matter.
It said it was private property, right?
No, the bayou is not. The land is.
It's in the bayou.
Nah.
But that's all right. You take care of yourself. We're definitely going to make a example out of you.
Okay, good.
The strangers accuse him of trespassing, insisting that the water belongs to private landowners. What follows is a tense argument over whether the bayou is public or off limits. Despite his attempts to explain that it's a tidal navigable waterway, they refuse to back down. The exchange escalates, threats are thrown around, and eventually they leave. Back home, the fisherman recounts the entire ordeal. For people unfamiliar with Louisiana,
Those of you watching from out of town are probably wondering what in the world this could possibly have been about. Well, it's because Louisiana is the only state in the union that doesn't guarantee unfettered access to all tidal water. Because of this, fishermen are regularly harassed and run out of areas that are claimed to be private. Now, I shot this video the day before Thanksgiving, so duck season was open here in Louisiana, but I'm a big believer in not doing anything to interrupt anyone's duck hunt. My view is that as a fisherman, I'm mobile, I can move, a duck hunter can't. They're pretty well set up in that pond, and that's where they're gonna spend the morning hunting. But the nearest pond to the bayou I was fishing is more than 3/4 of a mile away, so I absolutely was not messing up anybody's hunt. The bayou is 8 feet deep, it's tidal, it's natural, and it's obviously navigable. Confrontations like this, though, are all too common along the Louisiana coast, and I've been covering this topic for my 30 years in outdoor journalism. When I was at Louisiana Sportsman, we would often send the state lands office sections of marsh and say, hey, can you figure out if this is public or private, just to see what the answer was. It would often take them weeks to try and make a determination, and often they come back and say, we can't really figure it out. It would have to go before a judge. Now keep in mind, this is for tidal water, not land, which everybody recognizes as privately owned. Unfortunately, confrontations like the one I had are becoming more common in Louisiana as landowners try to flex their muscle and keep people off of the tidal water that runs adjacent to their land. Now, what I encourage anglers to do in these situations is to, number one, be selective about which parish you fish. It's up to local law enforcement, not the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries, to intervene in these cases. And some parishes, to be honest, just absolutely hate fishermen. Lafourche Parish, for instance, aggressively prosecutes anglers who are fishing tidal water, and the judges there notoriously side with landowners. Other parishes know this is a hot button issue, so they basically just stay away from it, and they're certainly not going to load deputies onto a boat to go out into the marsh and try and investigate and see what's going on. Number two, be respectful. You never know if the person approaching you is a hothead, and obviously the last thing you want to do is escalate the situation. However, number three is resist being bullied. If you're confident the tidal water you're fishing is open to public access, ask the landowner or lessee to produce paperwork from the state lands office or an adjudication from a judge saying that that water is in fact private. But again, if the situation escalates and there's a threat of violence, leave immediately and call local law enforcement.
The situation might seem confusing, but here, access to tidal waters is complicated. Unlike many other states, Louisiana does not guarantee open access to every tidal waterway. This gap in the law has fueled countless disputes like this one, where anglers are pressured to leave areas that look public but are claimed as private. He further explains that duck season was open, but he had no plans to disturb hunters. The nearest pond was nearly a mile away, and his chosen spot was a deep natural stretch of tidal water. Yet encounters like these are nothing new. Outdoor journalists have reported on the issue for decades, and even state agencies often struggle to determine whether certain waters are public or private. In many cases, the final decision can only be made in court. The fisherman offers advice to others. Disputes like this are becoming more frequent as landowners tighten control over access. Choose your fishing locations wisely. Local enforcement varies by parish, and some areas side heavily with property owners. Always remain respectful because you never know who you're dealing with. And most importantly, don't be intimidated. If you believe the water is public, ask for proof. But if the situation becomes threatening, leave and contact the authorities. This ongoing conflict highlights a broader issue in Louisiana, the clash between private property rights and the public's expectation of free access to waterways. Many anglers believe the law should guarantee the right to fish in tidal waters, while landowners argue that historical property lines give them control. Until clearer laws are written, these confrontations will continue to happen. So what's your opinion? Should tidal waters always remain open to the public, or do landowners have a valid argument for wanting control over what runs past their property? And if you were out fishing and suddenly found yourself in the middle of a situation like this, would you stand your ground or pack up and leave? May 24th, 2023, Bimini, Bahamas. On this day, Captain Lauren Landers, known for her YouTube channel that documents life aboard a sailboat, with her cat Mako, set sail once again. Her channel follows a lifestyle far from shore, crossing open seas, diving deep, and swimming alongside sharks. This episode was no exception. What started as another charter into paradise would soon reveal encounters that blur the line between breathtaking beauty and lurking danger. The voyage began, like countless others, calm seas, clear skies, and the promise of shark encounters. Guests gathered on deck, the sails catching the light breeze as Lauren guided them toward the dive site. Beneath the surface, the water opened into a thriving, restless world. It was there that Lauren finally encountered something she had long dreamed of: a juvenile tiger shark.
Good job driving us over here. Honorary Cap Kyle.
Cheersing to a great trip, and I'm so great to have you guys.
And a great crew.
Cheers.
Yeah. Hey, Allie, we're toasting to a great crew and a great.
Alec.
Cheers to you. Cheers to you. Want to get on this?
Trip dove with these hammerheads twice, and I tried my best to capture the shark's behavior, both being cautious and checking us out a bit. The nurse sharks are always present and are more so in the way and make it a bit harder to focus on the hammerheads. The hammerheads generally make a few passes by before actually coming to check what we have. Sharks are some of the most intelligent animals I have encountered, and it actually takes a lot of effort to get these sharks to stay at a dive site, contrary to what the media says. I hope that these videos can help change your perception of sharks at least a little bit and see them in a more positive light.
It is our last night of our second trip, and we're gonna go out to eat again. We're just all taking hot showers. We just got to the dock. I'm trying to get this thing out of my hair without having to cut my hair. But it was an amazing time, and today the hammerheads are wanting to play so much this morning.
For years, tiger sharks had been her favorite, yet she had never shared the water with one. The young female circled her with curious energy, drawing closer than any hammerhead ever had. Then, as suddenly as she appeared, she slipped back into the deep blue. The hammerheads, however, stayed. Massive and methodical, they carved wide arcs around the divers before gliding closer, cautious and deliberate. Nurse sharks drifted lazily across the sandy bottom, weaving through the scene and clouding the view, while the hammerheads passed again and again, each turn a silent, unspoken test. Later, the wreck of the Sapona rose from the shallow depths, its concrete hull fractured by time and storms. Once a vessel used for war and smuggling, it now lay silent, reclaimed by coral and fish.
The Sapona shipwreck sits in 15 feet of water south of Bimini. It is a concrete ship, formerly a part of a fleet during World War I. It was completed at the end of the war and sold for scrap to a developer in Miami Beach, and then sold to a British war captain and liquor merchant located in Nassau. This captain moved the Sapona to Bimini, and it was used to distribute liquor during the Prohibition era. In 1926, the Sapona ran aground, and it was then used as a bombing target to train U.S. fighter planes during World War II. It is now a popular tour site, and rightfully so, as this wreck truly shows the beneficial impact that artificial reefs can serve. Hundreds of fish and marine life call this wreck home, and it is one of the most beautiful sights to snorkel in the area.
The stillness of its hollow structure stood in stark contrast to the living sea around it, a powerful reminder of how quickly the ocean takes back what was once its own. For Lauren, encounters like these are simply part of life at sea, but for others, the ocean has not always been so forgiving. One viewer recalled how just south of Bimini near Cat Cay, a man diving from a sailboat never returned a bite from a supposedly friendly shark, proving fatal before help arrived. Another mentioned tragedies in both the Bahamas and the Red Sea, where baiting waters brought sharks dangerously close to unsuspecting swimmers. The footage might show calm, controlled dives. Yet an unsettling question lingers. Are these sharks truly as safe as they appear, or unpredictable predators biding their time? Lauren's camera captured undeniable beauty. Hammerheads gliding tiger sharks, slipping silently through the blue, a wreck overtaken by the sea. But as one commenter noted, hammerheads are proof that God exists, and sometimes he says, let's try this and see what happens. Out here between curiosity and survival, the line is thinner than it seems, leaving us to wonder how many stories the ocean keeps hidden beneath its surface. August 28, 2025. The YouTube channel. Shipwreck dropped what may be its boldest adventure yet. Once recognized for dominating the gaming world, Shipwreck has completely reinvented his online persona. His content is no longer about battle royale victories or live stream highlights. Now it's centered on real-world challenges that sit dangerously close to the edge of chaos. Viewers tune in to witness moments where meticulous planning meets uncontrollable forces, where even the smallest slip can carry serious consequences. This time, the mission overshadowed anything they'd done before. The destination, the Caribbean. The objective, to surf the monstrous waves of Hurricane Erin, a rare Category 5 storm, and face conditions that virtually no one on Earth would dare attempt. At its peak, Erin unleashed winds exceeding 100 mph. Offshore buoys recorded waves towering beyond 30 feet, with sets powerful enough to shatter surfboards or bones without warning.
Bye, Katie. I love you. I'll see you Tuesday.
Jack, are you going to clickbait this storm?
They required for this one. Top 5, top 10 biggest storms we've seen for this area ever. Last I saw was 15 to 20 foot at the place we're going.
You know what? These are all the boards that we need right here. Skim boards, surfboards, body boards, foil boards, ironing boards, water boards in here.
This is the busiest channel in the county, and you anchor it.
All right, Chad, 6 a.m. We're Key Largo, headed to Chub Cay to check in. Then from Chub Cay, we're going to Abaco. It's going to be a ride. We're crossing into the Caribbean Ocean. I don't even think it's a Caribbean Ocean. All right, Chad, we're checking in at Chub Cay right now. Beautiful little island in the middle of the Caribbean.
This wasn't just another vlog. It was a direct confrontation with nature's most primal force. The journey began on Chub Cay, a remote island in the Bahamas. Here, the team fueled their 43-foot boat and meticulously prepared every piece of gear. Surfboards, skimboards, backup equipment all lined the deck. Around them, other mariners shook their heads, refusing to continue. Local captains warned the waters were already too violent, yet Shipwreck and his crew pressed forward, determined to reach their chosen break. The crossing was punishing. Towering swells battered the vessel from side to side, each hit rattling both equipment and nerves. At times, the boat pitched so steeply that cameras captured nothing but sky, then nothing but water. They were forced to reroute more than 150 miles around impassable passages. Every extra mile consumed more fuel, thousands of dollars burned just to stay in the chase. Hours later, they arrived at a remote reef break few had ever witnessed, let alone surfed. The ocean roared over the shallow coral shelf, building into steep, chaotic walls of water. Paddling out was pure disorder. Sets climbed 20 to 30 feet high, detonating with thunder across the reef. A single, mistimed duck dive could have ended the mission immediately. Yet amid the chaos, Shipwreck and his friends caught some of the most spectacular rides of their lives, towering faces, hollow barrels collapsing in seconds. Their footage showed what few surfers ever dare a hurricane ocean briefly mastered. But the price was steep. One surfer smashed face first into his own board, surfacing with blood dripping from his nose and numbness in his forehead, signs of a mild concussion. Another diver speared a lionfish and was stung by its venomous spines, leaving his hands swollen, throbbing, and almost useless for paddling. Despite the injuries, they kept going. Some waves delivered perfection, clean drops and open barrels that shot them into daylight. Others punished every misstep, slamming them into the reef and leaving them gasping for breath. Boards cracked wax mixed with blood, and muscles burned from the relentless battle against current and chop. By nightfall, exhaustion was etched into every face. Bodies ached, hands blistered, and eyes burned from salt. Yet the mission wasn't finished.
Later.
Is you okay?
Rescue? Get out of here. My face look alright?
Yeah, you're alright. Just got nosebleed.
Hold on tight.
We'll be alright. Lucky to get knocked the fuck out. Yeah, and I'm not paddling out here for that.
It's big. And upper half of my body went numb. And I couldn't feel my forehead or my face. I might be slightly concussed.
Well, I was drowned yesterday. You got almost knocked out and died today. These reefs are no joke out here. There's a dent in the board from his face. Kind of see it. See the wax?
My nose, my eye, and my head hurt so much.
Just take a nap, man.
There's a ton of lionfish. I saw the lionfish.
Ow!
It stung me. Yeah. It like came back on the pole. I didn't see it. Ow!
Get the fuck in the boat.
My finger hurts. Stung me and swam away. Got off the pole.
Scary out there. You see that?
No!
There's no lifeguard. 2 guys out.
Why?
We run to Fortnite.
Chapo.
Oh.
Shipwreck! Oh!
Did your board break?
The kid got stung by a lionfish yesterday. Can barely paddle. Paddles out. Breaks his board like 3rd wave. Not having a good time.
And leaving the Bahamas and there's still waves. We gotta run 500 miles home. Sucks.
Great. Engines off. Nice boat, mud dope. What are you doing out here, man? You have a pliers on board? I need a pliers, please. You need help or you got it? Right here, I catch a shark right here that's not like this big. I came right up. I jack him with my cutlass, send him back. Big. Oh.
Is it hotter like 2 or 3 times?
Cut the key switch on, buddy. Come on, take it easy.
Have a good day.
Yeah, man.
There's lightning. A lot of lightning.
My jacket? Whoa! Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. That's all I gotta say. There's lightning everywhere. Andrew just came out that he was gay because he thinks we're gonna die. Oh, damn! Oh my! I got it! I mean, we've been on the boat all day getting our feet, but we finally made it back home, and we're all soggy and ready to go shower.
Captain Alex.
Yeah. How do you feel?
Ready for a nap.
Ready for a nap too.
I'm ready for a nap for 3 days. My face still hurts.
We had to travel and traverse through the storms and trenches to get here, so. Katie got a cool split for the lightning, huh?
I did, yeah.
I'm calling an Uber.
15-foot swells still blocked the way home. Every mile of the return demanded unwavering focus. A single wrong turn into a breaking wave could have flipped the boat. Slowly, carefully, they navigated toward port. When the coastline finally appeared, relief mingled with disbelief. They had done what almost no one else would even attempt. Surfing a hurricane isn't just rare, it's nearly impossible. The logistics alone are daunting. Securing a boat capable of surviving the journey, sourcing enough fuel, and navigating channels under storm conditions are hurdles few would attempt. The cost was enormous, thousands spent for a wave that might never appear. Then there's the physical danger. Category 5 surf is no playground. A 30-foot face breaking over a shallow reef can snap a board clean in half. A mistimed drop can hold a surfer underwater until their lungs scream. Injuries aren't just possible, they're inevitable. The footage proved this was no staged stunt. Tifue's crew endured real consequences, a face smashed into fiberglass, a venomous sting that risked infection, a body so disoriented by impact that simple movement was difficult. Each moment revealed the razor-thin line between survival and disaster, and yet, amid the chaos, there were glimpses of brilliance. One wave opened into a flawless barrel with the surfer emerging just before it closed. Another drop carried blistering speed across a towering wall of water. These moments were fleeting, but they defined the mission proof that even within the planet's fiercest storm, beauty could exist. By the end, Tipue and his team earned more than just footage. They returned with bruises, burns, and memories few will ever know. Their survival showcased the resilience of seasoned watermen, but also the truth. The line between triumph and tragedy is paper thin. The Caribbean storm gave them everything, moments of euphoria, waves most will never touch, and a humbling reminder of humanity's insignificance before the ocean's might. The question remains, was it worth it? Would you risk exhaustion injury, even your life, just for the chance to ride a wave no one else has ever conquered? For Taifwei and his crew, the answer was yes. And it left them with a memory destined to stand as one of the boldest chapters ever documented on their channel. On December 1st, 2023, the YouTube channel Blacktip H launched one of its most ambitious expeditions to date, renowned for pushing the limits of big game fishing. Blacktip H has delivered encounters with sharks, marlin, and swordfish that few anglers will ever witness. But this mission was unlike anything they had attempted before. The crew headed to the Red Sea off the coast of Aqaba, Jordan, alongside local fisherman and guide Dr. Marwan. Their objective capture, a Humboldt squid, one of the world's largest squid species, and use it as live bait to lure an even bigger predator. With waters plunging beyond 2,000 feet, this wasn't ordinary fishing. It was a bold experiment in one of the planet's most extreme marine environments. Preparations started early.
Tentacles and send them down. Yeah, we need them as a bait. We're in squid territory. 2,000 rotations. Squid on. Here we go. Big squid, big squid. We're burning up nice and slow as we bring his friends up. Stalling the reel out. You just know there's a battle going on down there. Like, he's getting chased by the other squid and they're gonna try to eat him. It's unbelievable. Oh, he's pulling hard. Look at that. I think someone's trying to eat him. If it's quiet like this, yes. We're getting close, 300 rotations. Okay. Nice and slow. I got a feeling he's got some friends with him, hey? I know a lot of you guys talk about the electric reels. You think this is cheating, and it's not. Especially for someone that just came out of surgery. This is a very efficient way. We're dropping down over 2,000 feet. There's a lot of water between us and the fish, and remember, it's pulling too. You're not just reeling up. Just reeling up the jig is a lot of work. All right, here we are within 100. Very close. Mono. 80 rotations away. 80 rotations. I see him. Hold on. Oh, that's a giant squid. Come on now. Wow. Look at that. Be very careful.
Send that back again. Hurry up.
What? This thing?
Yeah.
Here, I'll let you do that, right?
Here, I'll do it.
That's unbelievable. Giant squid. Whew. That is such a cool animal. Look at that thing. What a beast. All right, we're gonna send him down live. We're gonna try something crazy. Live giant squid. 4 swordfish. Dropping down nice and slow. This is crazy. I've never done this before. Here we go. Okay, calm down. Hey, calm down. Oh my gosh, dude, the big one's trying to get me. Look, he's trying to get me. He's like, what are you doing? Hey, stop fighting. Hey, what are you doing?
He is killing the small one. Be careful.
Stop fighting. Hey. Here we go. Live squid. Get off of him. Hey, stop fighting.
Anchoring was crucial. Without it, strong winds and currents would push the boat adrift, making deep water fishing impossible. Using improvised equipment, they secured their position and set up custom squid jigs with bright underwater lights. Beams of green and multicolored light sliced through the depths, designed to attract squid from the darkness below. They explained the enormity of the task. At depths between 2,000 and 2,400 feet, raising or lowering the line could require thousands of reel rotations. Electric reels weren't a luxury, they were essential. Pulling heavy jigs manually from that depth would be nearly impossible. Hours crawled by. Hands throbbed. Lines vanished into the black abyss. Then finally, resistance. The first squid hit. The reel groaned as the creature fought its way upward. Near the surface, bursts of color flickered beneath the water reds, whites, and iridescent hues. A Humboldt squid appeared, thrashing and pulsing its tentacles, armed with suction cups lined with teeth. Even for veteran anglers, it was both mesmerizing and unsettling. But the goal wasn't to keep it. Instead, they carefully sent the squid back down alive to serve as bait for something bigger. The tension was palpable. Would anything strike? The answer came almost immediately. A swordfish slammed into the bait.
Good.
Oh, bigger fish, bigger one. You know, we're so used to dropping down live, all these stone baits and that. Live squid, rubber band, circle hook, done. 2 for 2. Bigger fish, Marwan. It's a bigger one. I'll catch some more fresh squid. You can drop that down for swordfish.
Yeah.
Big sword.
I hope a good size, yes.
Big size. Open up. You might jump right now.
Okay.
Taking line. Taking line hard.
Oh, that's big.
Big, big,
That's
big.
big.
Big,
That's big.
big,
You got
big.
it? You got it?
Yeah, we got him. We got him.
Nice, nice. The fight's still early.
Oh, yeah. Taking line hard. Taking line hard.
Oh, no, that's small one.
Yeah, that's small.
Yes. But very healthy. See how he jumped?
Yeah, he's taking line good. Look, he's taking line. He's taking line. Taking line.
He will jump again.
You're going to have to gap this one and this one.
First time I saw swordfish jumping twice.
Really?
Yeah, first time.
Circle hooks make him jump more.
Josh make them crazy.
Rig, drop down a live squid again. If the swordfish are biting like this, I mean, we might have to come back out here again for giant squid, because if the swordfish are biting, we got to catch them. They're back in mono, back in mono. Nice fish, nice fish, nice
Yes,
fish.
yes. I got it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, he's wrapped.
Wrapped only with a circle hook. Look.
Look at that. Perfect.
Yes. Oh, good size.
Come on, Marwan, come on.
Yep. What happened to the tail?
Oh, you got hit by Mako. Look, he got bit. Right here. Wow.
Something follow him?
Someone tried to eat him. Look, there's bite marks all up and down here.
I told
no, there was
you.
a Mako shark.
Yes,
You're right.
Yes, yes. He was very speedy and very powerful.
All right. You think there's a Mako around?
Yes,
Watch this.
yes,
Here we go.
yes.
Ready? We don't have wire because it's at the hotel. So we just drop down the head right there, see if he bites it. But this is gonna feed Marwan's family.
Yes, yes. That's a good food.
Very good food. Look at that.
Celebration.
The Mako shark was definitely chasing.
The rod arched, the reel screamed, and chaos erupted on deck. Commands shot back and forth. Let it run. Keep pressure. Hold steady. The team worked in sync, reeling when the fish eased and bracing when it surged. The first fight ended with a juvenile swordfish brought aboard. Though small, it proved the concept even a modest predator would devour a Humboldt squid without hesitation. But the day was far from finished. Another strike followed. This time the fish was larger. It dove deep, then burst from the water in explosive leaps. Line peeled away at staggering speed. The battle raged on every surge, testing both the tackle and the angler's endurance. When the fish finally neared the boat, the crew noticed something alarming: scars running along its body. Distinct bite marks revealed it had already been attacked, likely by a Mako shark before it ever hit their line. By day's end, multiple swordfish had been landed. Each time the bait returned, shredded tentacles, torn eyes, missing flesh ripped apart. The evidence was undeniable. Deep below, unseen predators were feeding in the darkness, leaving only remnants behind. This expedition showcased the brutal predator-prey hierarchy that defines the deep sea. Humboldt squid, feared in their own right, became prey the moment they were sent back alive. Swordfish, swift and powerful, eagerly consumed them. Yet even swordfish bore scars, reminders that they too were hunted. The Red Sea, with depths exceeding 2,000 feet, remains a frontier. The scars on the swordfish and the mangled squid bait spoke of relentless battles below, conflicts beyond the reach of cameras or fishing lines. What surfaced was only a fragment of the story. The true scale of life and struggle beneath remained concealed. For the crew, using live squid was an experiment, but it provided a rare, raw glimpse into how predators interact in their natural habitat. It was a scene few will ever see a real-time chain of survival captured on film. By nightfall, the expedition concluded with swordfish on deck and squid baits torn apart. The evidence spoke volumes. Humboldt squid are irresistible prey. Swordfish are formidable hunters, and even they bear the marks of larger foes. The journey left the crew with lingering questions. If juvenile swordfish can consume massive squid, what giants roam deeper still? For Blacktip H, this was more than fishing. It was proof that the ocean's mysteries remain unsolved, and that every expedition reveals only a fraction of the eternal struggle unfolding in the darkness below. September 9th, 2023. The brave wilderness has been about pushing limits. From painful sting tests to close encounters with deadly animals, the channel's goal has been to bring viewers face to face with nature in ways that are educational, authentic, and undeniably intense. Their latest expedition into Australia's Northern Territory was no different. Their target, the Adelaide River, a notorious stretch of water known around the world for its massive population of saltwater crocodiles. These aren't just big reptiles visible above the surface, at least 5 more lurked below unseen. The violent display of the deadly force saltwater crocodiles command. With a bite force of over 3,500 psi, sneaking the Adelaide River is no place for humans to push their limits. But not all encounters happen in the wild. In Darwin, one location allows that makes them so deadly. The expedition highlighted a sobering truth in places like the Adelaide. Humans are not at the top of the food chain. Entering that water means stepping into a realm ruled by predators perfected by evolution, where survival is decided in mere seconds. So the question remains, would you dare stare into the eyes of a saltwater crocodile, even behind a protective barrier, knowing that in the wild, one wrong move means no second chance? For Coyote Peterson and the Brave Wilderness team, the answer was yes, because their mission has always been to bring people closer to the natural world, even when that world stares back with cold prehistoric eyes. That's it for tonight. Which moment creeped you out the most? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story? Share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.